Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Right, pickup time. So this is going to be everything I picked up the past couple of months. So we got games, we got films, and we got a bit of music as well, which I'll leave till the end because that's probably not what you're here for. Yeah, it's a very hot day. I'm sweating my nuts off. My neighbour's doing a lot of work next door, so you'll probably hear some drilling and some banging. So apologies for that. But other than that, it's all good. I'm doing well, getting on well. Yeah, so let's just crack on. So first thing I want to tell you about before I even get into all of that is the main pickup, which you'll probably see there, which I got a new TV for the game room. It's a 27-inch Panasonic Quintrix flat screen. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, picked that up recently, local pickup, and I was really chuffed. It's absolutely incredible. I don't have Facebook anymore, so my dad has that. And he contacted me and said, look, there's this one on Facebook, is it something you're interested in? So I contacted the seller, got it for free, which is absolutely amazing these days to get a CRT for free, and especially one as big as that. So yeah, so I just went over, picked it up off their drive, stuck it in my car, and off I went, and absolutely brilliant. So yeah, really happy. Picture quality is phenomenal, and the sound quality is absolutely incredible. The bass on it, spot on. My widescreen, the Sony I've got over there, Trinitron, I think that's got like 5 watts a channel. It's just okay. It does a good job, but it's not amazing. Where I believe from the manual that's got like 20 watts a channel or something ridiculous. I'm sure it's 20 watts. I'll have to check that and be certain, but because that sounded a lot to me, it sounded a bit high. But the sound quality is just incredible, and the picture quality, man. PS1 and PS2 RGB, especially PS1, absolutely gorgeous, really nice. So yeah, very happy to have that. Finally, I've been trying to get a big TV for a long time. Ever since I got rid of my gorgeous Sony Trinitron, when was that? 2 years ago, I think it was. Which was a massive mistake, and the biggest regret I've ever had was getting rid of that TV. So ever since then, I've been trying to track down a good size 25 to 27 inch and not had much success. And then when I saw that, I was like, I've just got to do it. I've got to grab it. So yeah, awesome. So there you go. So I've now got the Panasonic 27 inch Quintrix for the 4.3, and I got the Sony Trinitron. I can't say that word. Sony Trinitron, that'll do. 28-inch widescreen. So yeah, for my Xbox basically. That's all I use that for. I put the PS2 on it, but quite frankly, from what I've read, most PS2 games are 4.3. There are the exceptions, of course, like the later games do have wide, but most of them are 4.3. So I'll just stick them on the 4.3 and they display nicely. So there you go. Right, let's crack on anyway. Pick up time. So first up, we've got some games. Now, all I'm playing at the moment is PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. I've just started back on the Xbox. A couple of days ago, I started playing 13, which I'm really glad I did. I just popped it in because I was trying to get the settings on the TV right with the colours, because the contrast was way out and it was doing my nuts, so I was trying to get the contrast and brightness right. Not so much the colours because it's RGB, obviously. Anyway, point being, I put a 13 on and I got to the point where I've got stuck years ago when I first played the game, and I never managed to finish it because I couldn't work out what to do. And I worked it out the other day, and it was really, really simple. I just had to use a grappling hook. So that really pissed me off. So yeah, I'm playing 13 at the moment, which is awesome. So yeah, the reason I'm mentioning that is also because I'm going to be doing a video about games that I've completed. I'm hoping that's going to be one of them that I'll be able to put in there, because I like doing those videos, talking about the games once I've finished them. So yeah, at the moment I'm just playing PS1, PS2, and that one game on the Xbox. And for the PS1, I picked up a couple of games that I've never played, and I was interested in trying. Now, this first game is a game that Soulfunk Retro Matt had on Instagram, and I've never heard of it, and I thought that looks really cool. He said it was a really good game, so I've been trying to get a copy ever since I saw that, and that was months ago. And I finally found a decent copy for a good price, because it is a bit more expensive than most PS1 games. But I finally got it, and it's really cool. It is called X2, and it's from Ocean. So this is basically a side-scrolling, horizontal even, that'd be better, horizontal shoot 'em up. So it's like an R-Type basically, but it's actually, I say it's Ocean. They published it, I assume, because it's made by Team 17, the guys behind Project X on the Amiga. And I say it's a horizontal shooter for the most part, but pretty early on it suddenly flips, and it's really cool. The ship turns around and it goes vertical, which I really like the way it did that. And it's got a great soundtrack, really banging 90s dance track, gorgeous graphics. I mean, the background's like absolutely brilliant. The detail on the ships and everything. Beautiful. Now I was worried it was going to be as hard as Project X, so I was always crap at Project X. As much as I like the game, it's just ridiculously difficult. It's not too bad, this one. I'm not great at it, I'm not shit at it, so that, that's a good start. But yeah, it's alright, it's good fun. I don't know, I can't make mine up yet because the sound effects and that are cool, but you can't have them too late because they just blow up the speakers massively. It just feels a little bit underwhelming, but it's beautiful to look at. The biggest problem I have is because I can't play bullet hell, and I just can't get on with that at all. I don't have the mindset for that. And this one, it does sort of go that way. There's a lot of bullets on screen, a lot of lasers, and I just can't see the patterns, and I can't dodge through them, and I keep getting killed over and over again. But it hasn't frustrated me. I haven't got game rage. I've just died and started again and carried on. And it's really cool. You've got standard thing, you know, your weapon upgrades, you've got a bomb, that sort of thing. You've got little bosses and stuff. I do find a lot of the enemies though take a lot of hits to kill. And when you've got a stream of them, they're like Gradius when you get like a load of them come across the screen in a line. And it does that in a pretty massive sprites. And you try to shoot the hell out of them, it just don't seem to make much difference, and they get too close and you've killed like 3 of the 5 and then you get twatted by the last 2 and I was like, eh. But I mean, I'll stick at it. It's just beautiful and the soundtrack's awesome. Next one I got is a game recommended by Alex Blutonic78. I've seen him recommend this before on his channel, and recently he put up a video. He put up a picture on Instagram and he was promoting it again. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that. So I found a copy on Amazon because the ones on eBay were knackered. There was like one, because there was one seal copy, one alright copy, and then one platinum edition. And I was like, I ain't touching that. So I went on Amazon, found a good deal. Anyway, game's called Motorhead. So it's a racing game, like an arcade racer. I was playing it last night actually. It's pretty cool. Really nice graphics. The frame rate's unreal. It's got a 25 frame rate optional, a 50 frame rate, and the 50 frames really smooth. I was really surprised how quick and smooth this game actually moves. It's really interesting, beautiful bright graphics. The street lights look really cool with RGB. They really light up nice. It's got a fantastic, again like X2's got a great 90s dance soundtrack. Weirdly though, on the back of the box it says it's got analog compatibility, and I thought, oh cool, that'll be interesting to try. So I started playing with the D-pad as normal and using X to accelerate and square to brake and circle handbrake. And you've got the triangle as your horn. And then I clicked the analog button to turn the analog sticks on. And the car stopped and I couldn't move. I was pressing X and I was like, I don't understand what's going on. So I put the D-pad back on, carried on playing the game for a bit. And about 10 minutes later I thought, I'm going to try it again, so I put analog on. And I thought, I don't understand this. Then I quickly worked out what it was. When you put analog mode on, it's using both sticks. So basically you have the left stick will move your car left and right to go around bends. But to accelerate and to brake, you use the right stick pushing forward and backwards. And it actually has got analog ability, it's not just pushing forward and backwards. If you push, like as you know with analog, if you push gently, the car will go a certain speed and it'll get faster the harder and further you push the stick. And the same backwards, if you just jerk the stick backwards, it handbrakes the car. Really cool, really interesting idea. And I found that I controlled the car a lot better using the analog controls. I'm still not very good at the game, I'm still in 4th place, I can't seem to catch them up. I can't seem to get the bends right, but I really like it actually. So thanks Alex, thanks for recommending that game. And guys, if you've never tried Motorhead, give it a shot. It's a cheap game and it's actually quite a lot of fun, and the music is absolutely superb. If you like 90s dance, great game. Right, so onto the PS2. Really liking the PS2 at the moment, surprisingly enough. I'm really giving it a go and I'm trying to play as many games as I can get hold of, and I'm enjoying playing through them. And I'm really surprised how good the system actually is. It's really shocked me. So, you know, all the fanboyism of that era has gone away and I'm just trying to enjoy it as a gamer. So first up is a game that will be no surprise whatsoever to anybody, but I had to pick this up, and that is Cold Winter. So a fantastic first person shooter. One of the best of that generation in my opinion. I absolutely love it. If you love your story driven first person shooters and you've never played Cold Winter, do yourself a favour and play it because it's absolutely fantastic. Cheap game. Really, really fun, gorgeous graphics, fantastic story. Definitely one of the best storylines of that generation that I've played through. Really surprising, really well fleshed out characters, and you know, the acting is really good quality as well. I'm really surprised. I'm going to go more into depth. I mean, I have talked about it on my channel years ago, but I've just played through it again recently, so I want to do it with fresh eyes. So I am going to make a video, as I say, once I've completed 13 on the Xbox and talk about the games I've completed, so I'll go into more detail about that. But Cold Winter is brilliant. Next one, I picked up a game that I won this on auction a few weeks ago, and it's a game that I've played before on the PS2, and it's another exclusive, but I never completed it because I got stuck. So I really wanted to get this back. It's a series of games that I love and a series of films I love, and that is James Bond 007 Quantum of Solace. So this is completely different to the one that's on the PS3. The PS3 game is first person mostly, but then you can go into third person cover as well, so it's a mishmash. This is just a straight up Uncharted style third person cover shooter. And yeah, I'm looking forward to going into detail in the next video about it and telling you more about it, but initially I have completed it. It is different to that version on the PS3 because it does have one of the levels, well in fact there's a section and a level missing that's not on this game that is on the PS3, which I think is a real shame because it would have been nice to have had those in there. But what you do get is a really nice amalgamation of Quantum of Solace and Casino Royale, the way you do on the PS3 game, and it's absolutely brilliant. If you've never played it, I would try it. There are a lot of niggles and a lot of things that really wound me up about the game, and I got quite pissed off trying to play it mechanically, which I will go into detail in the next video. But overall, I like the experience. I like the level design. I prefer the third person cover. To be quite honest with you, I wish it had just been a cross-platform game. And I don't think Treyarch make this one because they made the other one, didn't they? Oh no, it was Eurocom. So maybe Soulfunk Retro was involved in this. Matt, if you're watching, let me know. So yeah, it was Eurocom that did that and Treyarch that did the other one. And they're very similar, so they must have been in talks, as I assume. So yeah, it would have been cool if that had been a cross-platform anyway and you'd had the third-person cover adopted by Treyarch instead of doing the first-person mode, because I think it would have been amazing on the PS3 with tighter controls and the PS3 graphics as well. But yeah, pretty sweet little game, well worth playing, even if it will make you want to scream sometimes. Right, next one is another obvious one. Now I've got this on Xbox, and that's why I picked it up, because I'm trying to experience the PS2. I wanted to see how this stacks up, because I couldn't see this being anywhere near as good as the Xbox version. That is Black. It's brilliant on the PS2. Really surprised actually. Not what I was expecting. I need to do a side by side and put the Xbox version on the widescreen and compare the two graphically, but I can't see that much difference. Other than I think the colours look nicer on a PS2. I don't know what it is. It's like a texture thing or something. The colours just, I don't know, they just sort of pop more than they do on the Xbox version. The Xbox version looks a little bit more muddy to me. That's about all I can really say difference-wise. The important thing which really surprised me was when I loaded it up, it has a 50Hz mode, a 60Hz mode. Don't get that on the Xbox. I don't know if the Xbox just runs at 60 as standard. I have no idea. But you don't get the option to choose on the Xbox. So that was really cool with the PlayStation. I love having 60Hz mode. And then also when I went to the options, the same mode has a Dolby Pro Logic mode. That's not on the Xbox. Now I don't know, again, if that's standard on Xbox and that's why it's not in the menu. But it doesn't have that option. Now the Xbox and the PlayStation's got optical on the back of the console. Xbox doesn't. Xbox, I've got an advanced SCART cable, and that, and also the HD pack that you could buy from Microsoft, both have optical built in, so it is an additional thing. So maybe that's the reason why it doesn't have it in the options. I don't know. But overall, I've only played the first two stages, and I know that like stage 2, the Treneska border crossing, is a fantastic level because it has lots of lighting coming through the trees and really good sound effects with the wind, and a lot of nice little details and explosions when you get into the one area, you're blowing everything up and blowing up trucks and whatnot. And when you go across the border crossing itself and use the rocket launcher, I've got to be quite honest, I think the PS2 version holds up very well. And I also like using the PS2 controller because I'm a big fan of using the PlayStation layout with the sticks in the parallel position. So yeah, really surprised, did not expect it to hold up anywhere near the Xbox version. So as I say, I'll have to do a side by side, and you know, knowing me, I won't see any bloody difference other than the colours look nicer on the PS2, but pleasant surprise, very good. So next is the game that I'm currently playing on PS2, and I only started it a few days ago, and it's a game called Made Man. Now, I've owned this years ago, didn't remember much about it, but I thought I'm going to give it another shot. It's a third-person action game with a bit of cover, sort of. And it's a mafia game, as you can guess. So far, it's alright. I mean, it's not brilliant. It's very much of that era. When you think of like third-person, story-driven games of that era and how bad the acting was and the dialogue and it's just the characters' mouths don't even move when they're talking. You just have the voice over the top, and the character models aren't particularly great. That's one thing I forgot to say as well. Quantum of Solace, character models, beautiful rendition of Daniel Craig's face and other people, except for Judi Dench, who always gets screwed over. If you ever play Bloodstone on the PS3 and 360, You'll know what I mean. Her face looked like clay on those. To be fair, they all look pretty shit on that game, but she looked really bad. But yeah, Made Man, it's okay. I mean, basically, just the cover system is pretty pointless. You might as well just run around and just shoot everybody. It's very amateur. It feels a lot like Max Payne, but not as good, on a lot less budget. But I mean, it's alright. It's decent. I'll play through it and see how I get on with it. But it's not bad so far. So I'll talk about that in the video when I do the what I've been playing and completed, or what I've completed video. So that's all I've got game-wise at the moment. So I'm just playing Made Man, playing 13 on the Xbox. I'm dabbling with Motorhead and X2 on the PS1 because they're not really story-driven, so they're just jumping in and out arcade experiences. Right, okay, so let's do some films. So I picked up 3 films over the last couple of months. I've seen them all before, and I saw them at the cinema. I saw 2 at the cinema, and one of them I saw on Netflix. So let's crack on. So the first one, the one I saw on Netflix, and this got a lot of shit thrown at it at the time. I think in America in particular, because of their whole politics with guns and whatnot. So there was a whole drama, and it got unfairly slated. And I watched it, and I thought it was actually really surprisingly good. And it is Death Wish with Bruce Willis. Now, Bruce Willis hasn't bothered acting for about 10 years. He just phones it in. He just cannot be asked. But in this film, he actually made a little bit of an effort. And I watched a film recently called Survive the Night, which is a recent one he's done, where he actually starts to emote. And I was like, bloody hell, Bruce Willis is acting, what's going on? But then I watched Die Hard 4 the other night, and yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. But yeah, I really like this film. It's great. I mean, if you don't know what the story is, I've never seen the original Charles Bronson films. I know, shocker. If you don't know what Death Wish is, basically, he plays a doctor called Paul Kersey. He gets called in one night. His wife and daughter are alone. The house gets robbed, and the daughter and wife are shot. The wife dies. Daughter's on a ventilator in a coma. And then basically, Paul Kersey finds out that the police are so overwhelmed in Chicago, they just can't cope with the amount of murders, and they can't solve the cases. And he feels as though he's being left behind. So he becomes a vigilante basically and goes around saving people. It's really cool. I really like the film. I think it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's got the politics and stuff in there, but you can just take no notice of that. The actual action and the storyline is really good, and Bruce is actually making an effort for once. So yeah, really. I've watched it loads of times. I've watched it loads of times on Netflix. And I thought, you know what, it's about time I actually own my own copy, and the Blu-ray looks gorgeous, man. The picture quality, stunning. So yeah, if you've never watched it, and you've just dismissed it, and you've got Netflix, give it a watch, because you might enjoy it. I thought it was a fantastic film. Next one, I saw at the cinema when it came out. I absolutely love this film. Mission Impossible Fallout, the latest in the Mission Impossible series. Brilliant film, so good. Ties all the films up nicely. It's got all the little Easter eggs for the other films, which I love. I love the fact that I keep forgetting her bloody name, Vanessa something. Birdie played Princess Margaret in The Crown. I love her. She's brilliant. She plays Max's daughter, and Max is the character from the very first Mission Impossible from 1996, the Brian De Palma classic. Yeah, so cool. I love that. I just love everything about the Mission Impossible films. They're great. Admittedly, number 1 is still my favourite because it's a proper spy story, and now they're just, ever since John Woo did number 2, which was god awful, they've just been action films all the way through. JJ saved it with number 3, and then we're back on track. I think McQuarrie did 4 and 5. I think that's right. I know he did 5 anyway. I'm pretty certain of that. Or did he do 5 and 6 and 4 with somebody else? I can't remember, because that's number 6, obviously. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? Point being, Fallout's great. I really love it. The action's fantastic. If you've never seen it, definitely recommend watching the Mission Impossible films and catching up and watching this. The action's insane. You know, Tom Cruise is just absolutely mental. You watch the film, and it's like you watch the behind the scenes and all of the stunts that he actually did. It's just absolutely mind blowing. It really is, to see what he can do, what he's capable as a human being. You know, he's doing halo jumps out of planes. He's hanging off a bloody wire on a helicopter up in the sky. He's flying a helicopter through mountains. It's just insane. I think it was like the one bit they'd done the club, and they built the club. I think he was like 200 feet in the air or something ridiculous on a wire. Guy don't care. He's got no qualms about height or anything. It just blows my mind. It's absolutely phenomenal. And because he does all this, and he's flying a helicopter for real, it really does add to the film, because you go, yeah, it's totally believable, because that is Tom Cruise flying that helicopter. It's not Tom Cruise on the same stage being jigged around by hydraulics, and with green screen behind him. Great film. Anyway, that's the main thing. The storyline's brilliant. It's about 2.5 hours. It's quite long, but it really does keep you gripped from beginning to end, I find. I love the Mission Impossible films. Last one I've picked up is easily my favourite and the best video game movie ever made, Tomb Raider, with Alicia Vikander. Brilliant film. Saw it at the cinema. Absolutely loved it. Really excited because they are making a sequel now. It's been greenlit, which I'm so chuffed about because I wasn't certain they were going to be able to do that. I didn't know if the box office was going to be enough to justify it, but apparently it was. So yeah, really happy. It's fantastic. If you've never seen it, it's basically an amalgamation of the 2013 game reboot and also Rise of the Tomb Raider, because they throw Anna in there and Trinity and all that sort of stuff. So it's got the whole Devil's Triangle angle, and you know she's on the Endeavour, I think the boat was called. So they've got all that, and they're throwing a new character for her to hang out with instead of having the group of characters that she had in the 2013 reboot. But it's brilliant. It's really good. You got Vogel played by don't do that, Pete. I hate my brain, but I know his name, but it's just gone. Walton Goggins, that's it. I absolutely love that guy. An amazing actor. I've seen him on TV and in films, and he's just absolutely exceptional every time. Yeah, so he plays Vogel, who's the villain of the piece. And then you've got, I always forget this guy's name, the bloke who plays Lava's dad, who played Fred West. It was right there then. I'll think of it in a minute anyway. I can see his face. He was McNulty in The Wire. Dominic West. Boom. I was determined to get that then. Yeah, I love Dominic West. I mean, a lot of the reviews said that he was really hammy, which I can understand what they're saying there. But I love it. I thought the chemistry between Dominic West and Alicia Vikander was absolutely superb. And we really believe they're father and daughter. It's just great. And you've got Nick Frost in there for a bit of comedic relief as well, who owns a pawn shop. Like a pawn shop where you pawn stuff, not pawn shop, you know. So yeah, that was really cool. So that's how she gets her money to fund the trip to the Devil's Triangle. Brilliant. Really great action. I love the way that Lara starts out as like a normal person. She's just a bike messenger who doesn't want to accept her inheritance because she doesn't want to accept that her father's dead. And eventually she's convinced that she has to go. I'm not trying not to spoil the story, but she has to go and find her father basically and find out what happened. And she ends up on the island. And then you get some really cool action and she learns to use a bow and arrow. She doesn't become the mass murderer that she did in the game, thank God. But, you know, it's really well handled. And Alicia Vikander's incredible. I mean, she's in amazing shape in this film and her acting is just phenomenal anyway. I mean, she's absolutely stellar. So, yeah, definitely recommend it, guys. It's on Netflix, I believe, if I remember right, because I watched it on there. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it. And the sequel is coming, so even better, more incentive. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to talk about the 2 albums I picked up recently. They're both country artists, so that may or may not be something you're into, but give it a chance. So I absolutely love country music. I've been listening to it for the last 4 years now, and it's absolutely fantastic. There's such a variety of artists out there. And one artist I've been listening to a lot is a country pop artist called Kelsea Ballerini. Now, I picked up both of her first and second albums. Really like them, especially the second album, Unapologetically. Great album. So I was really looking forward to this third album. It's simply called Kelsea. Now, initially, she brought out a couple of tracks. She brought out Homecoming Queen, which is a really cool ballad. She brought out Club, which I wasn't too keen on first listen. It's a very upbeat pop dance record. I was like, I don't know about that. Then listened to it a few more times and I thought, yeah, actually it's really good. And then she brought out a great record called LA, which is about her basically questioning whether or not it was the right move to Los Angeles and whether Nashville will still accept her. It's a great record. I really like that song a lot. And so I had high expectations because the first 2 albums were so good. These 3 tracks that I heard from the new album are really good. I thought it's going to be another great album. Gotta be honest, the first time I listened to it, I tweeted quite a lot about it at the time. I wasn't that keen. There were songs that I thought were great, obviously like the Homecoming Queens, Club and LA. LA being my favourite song on the album, I think. But there were a few that I was like, I don't know about that. It just felt to me like it was way too pop. Now, she is pop, but she's always had that country edge. This album felt like it had gone way more to the pop side of things, and that's fine. Artists have to develop and find who they are. But, you know, it's a kind of annoyance because like the band Perry did this and they went way pop and then sort of lost the plot and completely forgot who they were, which is a shame. So I wasn't too sure at first. I listened to it. There were songs on here that I thought were really good. As I say, like the obvious one, like Club, Homecoming Queen. There's a song called Bragger, which I really like, which is really poppy, but I really like that song. It's a great record. Hole in the Bottle's a good song. They've got Half of My Hometown with Kenny Chesney. I quite like Kenny Chesney. He's pretty good. Another song called A Country Song, really great. LA being my favourite record. But then the others was just a bit of a mix, and I wasn't too keen. And the one song, The Other Girl, featuring Halsey, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was rubbish. So I was like, I was really disappointed and let down because I built it up and I was looking forward to this album. So I left it for a few weeks. I went back to it and I just listened to the record, I just put it on, lay back on my chair and just listened to it. And it's much better than I first thought. There's still, so the Halsey song I'm not keen on. There's a couple of songs that are just mediocre. But for the most part, it's a good album. It's not as great as the first two albums, and the second album, unapologetically, there isn't a song I don't like. In fact, there's not a song I don't like on either of the first two albums, but unapologetically just really hit the chord at the time. It's a great record. But yeah, a little bit disappointed, but it's getting better, and I will still continue to listen to it. But you know, artists develop, and then you're not going to like everything they put out. So, but yeah, still a good album. Okay, and the second album I got is an artist that I found recently who's been around. Well, this album came out in 2016, so I only found out about him recently. And what happened was, there's a band that I really like called Gone West. They've got an album coming out shortly, which I'm waiting for the vinyl to be released. I think it's out on CD now, but the vinyl's on its way. And obviously with COVID, that's going to take a while to get to the UK, unfortunately. So they put on Instagram, they posted about they'd done a performance on a YouTube channel called Country Rebel. No, I don't think I'd watched Country Rebel at the time, I don't believe so. So I clicked on the link, had a look. I really enjoyed the performance because they're a great group. And while I was on the Country Rebel YouTube channel, I thought I'd just skip along and see what other artists they've got on here. Because basically, if you don't know, Country Rebel, they do acoustic performances from many different artists from all kinds of different styles of country music. It's really, really good. So I'll put a link down in the description so you can check it out if you want to, guys. And I skipped about 3 or 4 videos across, and I saw a performance from a guy called Drake White. And I thought, who the hell's Drake White? I've not heard of him, which is weird considering I listen to so much country music. So I thought I'd give it a click, and it was a song called Eat, Drink and Dream, which is from his latest EP, Stars, which is phenomenal, by the way. And I clicked it, and it was just an instant, you know, sometimes you find an artist or a band, and it's just an instant connection. You're just like, I love this group, or I love this person. And it was like that with Drake. I just thought Drake was amazing. His vocals are just incredible. The energy that he puts out when he's singing is phenomenal. His music is great. I love his lyrics. I just love everything he's done. He's an absolutely incredible artist, and I wish I'd found him sooner. But I say this album came out in 2016. The album, by the way, is called Spark. Fantastic album, really, really cool. It comes on a nice translucent turquoise vinyl, and it's a great album, really, really great. He's put out a few EPs. I say the recent one, Stars, which just came out a couple of weeks ago, is incredible. It's got Eat, Drink and Dream on there. It's got Mix 'Em With Whiskey, which I absolutely love. It's got Luckiest Man, which is an absolutely fantastic record. Great songs. And he's put out loads of different songs over the years. There's loads of performances on YouTube where he's done the Bing performances, which is Microsoft search engine. He's done several performances for Country Rebel, which are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the acoustic performances, man, this dude's awesome. And every Wednesday night as well on Instagram and YouTube, he does a live performance from his home because he's got a massive barn that he built, which is called the Wednesday Night Therapy Sessions, which are absolutely brilliant, where he basically sings some of the classic songs as well as the new stuff from Stars and takes requests, and he does meet and greets via Zoom, which is really cool on Instagram. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy, really nice guy, but his music is just right up my street. I absolutely love it. This is a mixture of all sorts. You've got some country, some southern rock, you've got some gospel, some blues. It's just one big gumbo. It's just phenomenal, and I absolutely love Drake White's music, and I've been listening to him constantly since I found him. And yeah, and the Wednesday Night Therapy Sessions are fantastic. I don't get to watch them live, unfortunately, because they go live at 1 a.m. on a Thursday morning for me, so I have to watch them on Thursday morning when I wake up. But, you know, it's better than watching the news. Let's put it that way. Turn all the shit off and just put Drake on and just be put in a good place, be happy. Yeah, anyway, this album. So there's a lot of songs that are on this album that I really want, so I'm hoping he puts them out on vinyl at some point, because I think most of them are on EPs, which are digital. I don't do digital. So we've got Heartbeat, which is brilliant. Making Me Look Good Again, which is one of his top hits. I mean, it's just a fantastic song. It Feels Good, which is one of my favourites. I love that. It's a really upbeat party song. Livin the Dream, I love that song. I Need Real. Basically, the first side of this album is just hit after hit after hit, and then you get to the second side, it just keeps getting better. You got Back to Free, which really right now in quarantine is apt. If you listen to the lyrics, it really is spot on. Equator's really cool. You got it's just, you know, it's really hard to just not like any of the songs on this album. It's great. And let's say all the stuff he's been putting out since then, all the performances he's done, you know, Girl in Pieces, Grinning, Coast is Clear, all absolutely phenomenal. I really, really like this guy a lot, and he's just, I love when I find an artist like this that I haven't found before, and you just start digging through their material, and you're just like, oh, I love that song, oh, I love that song, oh, I love that song. And you just can't, I mean, I've just haven't stopped playing Drake every day. It's just fantastic. So yeah, incredible artist. If you've never heard of Drake White, please just go in the description of this video, have a listen to some songs, check out his acoustic performances, see if it's what you're into. Brilliant. And if you are, go and buy Spark and support him, because Spark is a phenomenal album. So there you go, guys. That is everything. That's the games, the films, the music. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below. As always, I always enjoy reading those. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and watching the videos. Really appreciated. And I will see you in the next one.